You are watching William Patterson University Television.
You should have gone for the head.
This is a story at Press Start that we have been working on for a while, waiting for the inevitability that Disney and Marvel would crush their partnership with Netflix and then go to their own streaming service. Iron Fist, The Defenders, Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, The Punisher, all of them, Daredevil, have been canceled, and we expect them to not be revived until Disney's streaming service is actually announced. However, on the same day, Disney recently has doubled down on their partnership with another streaming service in Hulu. On one hand, Marvel shows have been canceled, and then on the other hand, 4 new Marvel shows have been announced. So joining me today is Spencer, Gio, and Jay to talk about this. Guys, thanks for joining me today. Let's just start out with the cancellations first, right off the top. I mean, this has been going on since, I think, September, that they've just been axing one show at a time. Gio, were you ever thinking like that, you know, like seeing their huge Netflix universe that was like, oh yeah, this is going to crash one day. This is going to destroy.
Yeah, no, I was shocked, honestly. They've spent so much time developing like this entire universe, and it was tragic to see it go. But at the same time, I'm kind of excited to see where Disney's taking this. I don't know, it's kind of a double-edged sword in a sense.
Yeah, and I think it's weird that like it's, you know, you had success. Like season 3 of Daredevil was good. Oh, yeah. And Jessica Jones had a lot of success behind its first season. Yes, Iron Fist and Defenders weren't stellar, but they weren't like as bad as everyone says they are. Like it was much better than some of the other stuff that Netflix is putting out. It was better than the 8 Adam Sandler movies we got. So like Jay, I'd ask you, like, what was the thing that made Disney go, yeah, Disney and Netflix go, yeah, let's pull the plug on this whole project?
I think it was because they realized how much more money they can make if they swiped it to their own service. Like the first one was canceled was what, Iron Fist? I said, okay, that makes sense. It wasn't that stellar, like you said. It wasn't terrible, but it wasn't like amazing. But then after season 3, when it got so well received, Daredevil was announced canceled. I'm like, okay, this doesn't make sense at all.
Yeah, and I think that we had spoken about it in, you know, some of our meetings where we were like, did we talk about this yet? Did we mention it on Press Start? And I was like, well, let's wait until the other shows get canceled. Let's wait to see what happens. Maybe they're just taking out the ones that have bad numbers. But like Spencer, I want to ask you. So they cancel Netflix shows, then they call Hulu, and they're like, hey, we got 4 new shows for you. Why?
So I think a lot has to do with package dealing. Specifically, I know that Hulu has a lot of package deals. They do. And this could be something in the future that they want to do with Disney, maybe, you know, a package deal where it's like, oh, you get Hulu, Disney, Showtime, all their stuff. They bundle it together like they do, and they might think that this is a better place for it because it's more adult. You know, these shows are a little more adult than what they could put on the Disney Channel or like the Disney streaming service, I guess. So that's a way of looking at it.
And I think that's, you know, like, you know, those shows are adult. We're looking at Howard the Duck, Kung Fu Monkey. Like, we're just, you know, these shows are not meant for a children's audience. But then again, neither was any of these. Like, any of these shows here. Daredevil was violent as heck. Like, Jessica Jones was, like, dealt with some very heavy topics. Punisher was a whole thing in and of itself. I mean, realistically, the only one you could say that was in a lighter tone, I guess, was Iron Fist. So, like,
just because of the main character.
And just because of the main character. But, like, you know, would this be a place that you want to see these shows move to? Would you be okay if they're going with a more adult-oriented universe on Hulu? Would you be like, okay, so Daredevil can move there and be successful, Gio?
Yeah, honestly, at the end of the day, because I was a fan of, like, I remember when Daredevil first dropped, and me and my dad were both like, oh, they're finally getting an adaptation. We have to watch this immediately. I think the cast and the story and the writing is just so strong. Honestly, I'm in the position of where, as long as I have the ability to watch it, I'll watch it at the end of the day.
Yeah, and I think it's you know, put it in front of more eyes as possible. Hulu has recently become its own cable provider, essentially. Spencer, do you think that this has something to do with it? That like Disney's like, oh, we have a show that doesn't have to be released all at once anymore. We can say like there could be ad breaks and there can be an episode a week. So like now we can make even more money off of it.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, it's deciding what. I think Disney decided what's better, Hulu or Netflix, and I think it came to Hulu because Hulu's making such big strides now. You got live TV, like you said. You got all these other packages coming in with it, and it could just at the end of the day, this could just be a package deal. Like, you know what I mean? We might be getting all of the Marvel movies on Hulu because of that. You know, we don't know what's going to happen next.
Yeah, and bouncing off what you just said, the Marvel movies, except for I think the most recent one in Infinity War, have all been taken off of Netflix and said they're not coming back anytime soon.
Yeah.
And we all thought that was, oh, they're going to go to their own streaming service. Obviously, everyone wants to rewatch before Endgame. They're going to want to rewatch all the movies that led up to it. So put it on your service you have to pay, you know, whatever number of dollars a month for. And now they're kind of, is this a thing, Jay, that you think that their streaming service just isn't ready and maybe they use Hulu as a stopgap, or is they going to do both at the same time?
Personally, I think it's all about money. I don't really think it's the audience that they have to worry about because Daredevil season 1, 2, 3, Punisher was so incredibly well received, had great reviews. I think they're pulling it because they can, like you said, they can make more money on Hulu because of one episode a week, blah, blah, blah. It's really all about money.
And the thing that terrifies me the most is that when they announced that Jessica Jones was canceled, they said, oh, the show's canceled, but season 3 will still debut on this day. So, you know, be aware that the last season you're about to watch is the last thing you're ever going to see of this show. You know, also be ready for, you know, July when it comes out. Why make that statement, Spencer? Why come out and say, like, we're canceling the show, you'll never see any more of it, but here's the last season?
If I know anything, it's hype. They're trying to build up hype for it, definitely. They got something cooking. I mean, everybody's got something cooking at one point, and this is their big thing that, like, I guess is going to be like, hey, you know, this might be canceled, but check this out. And also that day there may be something else coming out, like the Disney streaming service or something along those lines of, hey, this is our announcement for it's coming out next month.
Yeah,
Marvel has done this before, too, with Infinity War. Oh,
exactly.
half the characters are dead. By the way, the next movie is going to be in a couple months.
Yeah.
They
And
set
it's,
the date. Like,
it's like, Disney loves to set dates. They love to have their schedule 4 to 5 years ahead of where they actually are. Well, I want to thank you guys for joining me. Maybe at the end of Jessica Jones season 3, they'll just be like, hey, come watch us on Hulu next. Maybe they'll just undermine Netflix just one last time. But I want to thank you guys for talking with me today about all of this. It's so weird and also like a little interesting that this streaming war has Disney at the forefront of it. But don't go anywhere because we are coming back to break down the 3 biggest trailers coming out of Nintendo Direct next here on Press Start.